Hey guys, welcome back to episode 2 of this Banished with Colonial Charter mod playthrough. I think where we left off last time, we didn't have this storage yet, so the storage barn, it's really useful to be in the middle of the town, just collecting all the fish, etc. that we'll collect. And so today we'll look at setting up our tools manufacturing and also clothing manufacturing. So just pop down the blacksmith and the tailor for today. As you can see from the left corner, we're a bit low on both of those things actually. So let's plan to get those down. So with the charter mod, you can actually make a few different types of tools: rough tools, iron tools, and steel tools. With iron ore that you can dig from the ground, you can only make rough tools, which has a shorter lifespan, so you need more tools than usual. So at the moment, looking at building a general warehouse to actually store all these materials that we need. But another cool feature of the mod is actually separation of all the materials that you can stockpile. So here we're just landing an industrial fuel stockpile, which will come in handy a bit later on. Mineral stockpile, which will store iron ores. So the separation of all these raw materials will be quite useful when you have buildings around it that needs those specific materials. So instead of going to a general stockpile where there's fair way away to collect these, we can just collect it quite easily right next to us. So as I've said, there's rough tools, iron and steel tools. So to make iron from iron ore, we actually need a few things. So just landing here, the industrial fuel maker, and also an iron smelter. So the iron smelter will use industrial fuel and iron ore to make iron, whilst the industrial fuel maker will use either firewood or coal or other fuel source to make industrial fuel. And then once we have iron, we're actually able to make the iron tool that comes with the original game. Otherwise, iron ore will only make rough tools. So landing another log stockpile there as well, because obviously tools, we need logs to make tools. So that's the planning right there. Because of the short labor, we'll need a bit of time for this to run. Yep, so we're back. Look, there's another child being born, which is great. So all the materials for the fuel refinery has been loaded onto the building. So now just planning to actually build a shore house as well. So what that does is a specific mod building that can pull out sand, clay, reeds, and some food as well. So frog legs and turtle for those tight times when you might need some food. I mean, I think we're looking pretty good here. I think the tools is a bit low, so we'll just keep focusing on building our iron supply chain. So, as you can see, I've paused those Tailor and Blacksmith buildings while we focus on the iron supply chain at the moment. Quite good stocks of logs. Another really cool new building that's introduced on mod is Town Arrival, which is the old town center, townhouse, but without the ability to accept nomads. So, building that really gives us all the stats that we need. So stats like production and consumption of tools, foods, etc. So really give you a chance to preempt any shortfalls in those production so you don't go without, hopefully. This is building up nicely, which is cool to see. So yeah, it's still very low on the labor counts. That's why everything's moving a bit slower. Oh, here we go. So you can see the industrial refiner, fuel refiner's been built. We're actually running a little bit low on food, so we might actually get the fishery started and paused all the other buildings before we do anything else. Fishing stock, dock, it's quite a reliable source of food. Especially with a growing family, we do need that additional food outside of just foraging. So all the raw materials for the fishing dock is ready, just waiting on the building of it. I've only got 2 labourers at the moment, which makes it difficult to prioritise some of the workload, but we'll get there. Could chop those trees out. They look quite mature now. Oh, here we go. So the fishing dock is completed. We obviously spent all our labourers, so we'll just take one off building and put one onto fishing just to get that food stock up a little bit. We'll hammerly waiting on that third labourer to come along so that we can get them to build their own house, actually. So once the child turns 10, they're actually eligible to move out to their own place, which actually draws a lot more. There we go. Which actually draws a lot more resources on food and firewood as well. So a neat stockpile is really needed. So let's put that new kid onto the building. And the reason why we want them in a new building is that once the another child is ready for adulthood, they can move in together and actually have offsprings, which in this Adam and Eve scenario, the only way we can increase our population at the moment. Here we go. 11-year-olds woodcutter. There you go. That's the new house is ready. So these are log cabins, which are a mod specific building as well. Actually use a bit more logs than your wooden house. So depending on how our logs go, we'll see what we pick. There we go. The new kids moved in. So now they're busy collecting some of the supplies that they need. Food, firewood, etc. And you can see we're actually running quite low on tools at the moment. Hopefully we can fix that very soon. Yep, we'll get that. I think the iron supply chain is probably not going to make it. At this point, might just have to get on to building the blacksmith. Yep, so we're back with the fishing dock. Just checking out how much I produced, 190 something in the last season. So they're all kind of going to the storing barn at the moment. We've got the fuel refinery built. We've got the iron smelter built, which is great. Just waiting on the blacksmith to actually produce some tools for us because we're quite short at the moment. Tailor will pause it. For now, we've still got a couple of clothes left. So you can see the second job nearly there. So we've got a large log cabin as well that we can upgrade to in this mod, which actually gives you more space for inventory and people as well. Just looking at the shore house, not really happy with the placement of that. So with the fishing dock, they have a radius where they fish from. It looks like buildings actually obstruct them, so I might just move it over there outside of that radius so that we can get a better yield, hopefully, from that one fishing dock that we have. Looking alright for a firewood. Maybe need a couple of more logs harvested. Just go out and chop some of those mature trees. Yeah. So yeah, at this episode, we're just kind of ending probably there. We still need a couple more logs to finish our buildings. We're waiting on our blacksmith to be ready. That's a little duck over there. We'll get onto those soon. So that's today's episode of episode 2. Now we'll come back and we'll see what we can do now with the blacksmith. Ciao, ciao.